Hello everybody, Jake here. Welcome to the video, welcome to the channel if you're new. We're back with another episode of It's Coming Rome, our Lazio series, where we're trying to win the Champions League as soon as possible. And now that I'm sure you guys all know, if you care about Football Manager, FM22 has been announced. The chances are the beta is only going to be 5 or 6 weeks away because it usually comes out 2 weeks before release, which is the start of November, I believe it's being released. So I kind of want to get this series done and dusted with a few weeks to spare before FM22 so I can plan and hopefully upgrade the equipment, upgrade the channel before FM22 starts, sort the channel out, how it's laid out, all of that good stuff. So hopefully we can win the Champions League fairly soon. I don't want it to be one of them saves where we don't get the achieved goal. So there might start being, for example, I could have done it here, but I'm not going to because the first leg, as you can see, we did lose to Inter Milan, who we are playing in the Champions League quarter-final today. But if it was a 4-0 write-off in the first leg, I probably wouldn't have shown the quarter-final, just to try and speed things along a little bit. I would love to win the Champions League this season and get the series done and dusted, but I don't believe we're going to get there that quickly. I reckon it might take one more season. If so, hopefully that'll be that, and if we get to the end of that season and we haven't won it, we'll assess where we are and see whether the series needs to end or not. I think I should be able to win the Champions League in that time, and this video will probably go out 3 or 4 days after the first video, which compared to my usual 1 week schedule I've been doing recently, that will hopefully speed things along too. I'm going to try and keep on top of it a bit more, try and crank the videos out as fast as possible. That will hopefully mean that we can finish this series with the result that we're trying to get, which is the Champions League, of course, and that is where we are today. But you will notice that after last year's pretty much stomping of the league last year, we walked it, we'd done it by this time pretty much, we'd already won the league. It's been a bit closer this year. There's a few teams still in with a shout, but I think realistically it's us against Juventus, which should be fine. It just depends on how far we go in the Champions League. The more games that we have, the more of a rotation team will play in some of these matches against Sassuolo and Torino. And whilst our rotation team should be good enough for them games, as you can see by the most recent game we've had, a 3-0 loss to Verona, whilst at home, things can go wrong when using a rotation side, even when the rotation side should really walk the match. You guys did last see us in the Champions League, of course, against PSV, where we walked it. I believe you saw that game. I'm pretty sure you did. Yes, you did, because Korea scored like 2 amazing chips. Not Korea. We don't have a whole nation on our team, although that would be very handy. We just have Joachim Korea, who someone said originally I looked like in like the first episode. I don't think so. If you want to check him out on the internet, I'm pretty sure he looks nothing like me, but someone said it. Yeah, anyway, we beat PSV. We then played Genoa in the league and Parma away, where we won quite comfortably. And then we had the first leg against Inter Milan. We are, of course, away from home there. Inter Milan, if we look in the league, are in and around the top 3, although we are better than them over the course of a whole season. However, like I say, they beat us 1-0. If you go back a few months, you'll see that we drew to them at home. We lost to them 2-0 away and only went through on penalties in the cup. So it's not like we always beat this side. They're probably the only side that really has our number so far this season. They play the same system as us pretty much. Arguably a better squad to play a 5 at the back system than we have. It's no longer Antonio Conte, it's Simone Inzaghi in charge of that Inter Milan team. And I think we could struggle, but I hope with the home advantage, if we can score a goal in the first 45 minutes, all of a sudden everything's evened out, and we just got to hope that we don't concede too many away goals, because that could of course become problematic. Next episode will be the youth intake. No transfers have happened, nothing like that, so this will probably be a shorter episode than usual unless the match goes all the way to extra time and penalties. We're trying to improve the squad in a few areas. I'm not really all out going for it just yet, but should we not win the Champions League and we have a 3rd season, there is plenty of business that I'm looking at the team, whereas last season I was kind of like, I don't really know who to get rid of. I know these players well enough now that I know the players that aren't good enough and aren't going to win a Champions League with us. Some, of course, will. Some will stay. Some have been amazing, but there's some players that should be good. Luis Felipe, I'm looking at you, who should be elite level centre-backs, who don't do the job for us at all across the space of a season. So we'll see what goes on with that. Dumfries, if Liverpool are interested in him, and happily take some money for him. He hasn't had the best season for us, not the worst season, but you know, I need money to improve the squad, so there's some players that could potentially be up for sale. So there we go. Inter Milan, Champions League. Let's look at the team that we're using. We have gone for Donnarumma in goal, who has been pretty good since he's came in. Yes, he isn't getting Strakosha kind of ratings, but we've been playing some harder matches since Donnarumma's came in. He's settling into a new team. Overall, I still think it was the right decision for the squad. I've gone for Acerbi, Ahmedhodzic and Ajer at the back. Ajer has taken the position over Luis Felipe. Look, Luis Felipe might have the better attributes. But Aya, just when he's in the team, it seems to work. I don't know what to say. We've got Lazzari at right wing back, Nuno Mendes, who's been brilliant at left wing back, arguably our player of the season, Tonali, who's kind of dipped off recently, alongside the ever-present Milinkovic-Savic, Dani Olmo in front of them two behind a strike force of Immobile and Edouard. That position could have been Edouard or Correa's. It could even have been probably not Petkovic's because he's been pretty poor since we've signed him, to be perfectly honest. However, there's some players that could definitely be in this side today. Castrovilli is another one where he could arguably do a good job, and I'm actually considering it now. No, I'm going to stick with my guns. Tonali has done fine. We're going to keep Tonali in. That's our team to hopefully beat Inter Milan and get into the semi-final. So I'll talk about things a little bit more when we get into the match, so I'll see you there. Okay, everybody, here we go. We're off here in the game against Inter Milan. A quick start would be ideal, and it looks like we might have something here. After my game lags a little bit, Nuno Mendes does have the ball after 2 minutes on the left-hand side of the pitch. It's awful goalkeeping. I don't know what's happened, but Nuno Mendes, who I said has arguably been our player of the season, has just scored a brilliant, well, I say brilliant, it's a nice little bit of work from him, but it should never have gone in. Edouard apparently gets an assist for that. Mendes drove in. It must have took a deflection, right? It did. Even still, Radu should have had that, but we don't care. That has put us in great stead for the rest of the match. Throws Inter Milan's lead away, probably knocks their morale a little bit too, and hopefully it'll be quite comfortable from here on out, but knowing Football Manager, never really is it? Immobile wins the ball quickly, plays it on to Dani Olmo, potential counter-attack on here. Apparently for Inter Milan, what a save that is from Donnarumma. He's done really well there. Zapata looking dangerous up front. Him and Lukaku in the first leg were very hard to keep a hold of, as you can imagine, both physical monsters, hard to deal with, but we've done all right there. If you are watching at this point, feel free to like the video. If we can hit 70 likes, that'll be awesome. Feel free to drop a comment down below if you think we're going to win the match. Let me know who you think's going to win. Let me know the scoreline. Feel free to join the Discord. Feel free to do whatever you want. But the Discord is there, linked in the description. Over 150 members. Great community we're building over there. Ahead of FM22. And we're almost at half time here. And actually, considering we did have that early chance, nothing much else has happened. So this could potentially be one of those extra time kind of matches. Apparently almost taken a knock. We'll assess that at half time and see what needs to happen. Let's just quickly take a look at him. You know what? I think Correa will do a fine job in that position. Protect Olmo. He wasn't playing the world's best game ever, apparently, according to his average match rating. So we'll just go with that, and hopefully that'll be fine. So let's start the second half with Correa in for Olmo. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, just to carry on doing all the plug-in stuff. And hit the notification bell ahead of FM22. Milinkovic-Savic getting very close with that free kick. I have a lot of plans for FM22, both in terms of content, but I mentioned it in the last video. I was thinking about potentially changing the way I set the videos up, getting a new computer, new camera, all of that, and I've decided, all being well, new background, all that stuff, new lighting, all being well, that will happen, hopefully before FM22 or sometime in the middle of it. Oh my god. Edouard came so close there with a little sweaty pass across the goal. Should have been a tap-in. Didn't happen. They're suggesting I take off Milinkovic-Savic, which isn't a bad idea because we want to keep him fresh, but if we go into extra time, I want to have my best players on the field. Don't really see myself taking Milinkovic-Savic off there. No, we need him. He's too key. He's too key. He might get tired, but then he doesn't have to play the next two Serie A matches, does he? He can sit out. We've got plenty of quality on the pitch. Here we go, though. After we've done not much since the start of the game, it's Inter Milan who are going forward. Nuno Mendes, who scored the first goal, gets a good block off and plays it up to Edouard. Back to Mendes, who's being basically the playmaker of the team in left back. He's gone past one, gone past another. Nuno Mendes chips it back. Immobile scores, but that is all down to Nuno Mendes. He scored the first goal, and then that is probably one of the most brilliant runs I've seen in Football Manager. Past one, another one comes in, you think he's getting beat. No, he takes it past him. Then he plays a perfect cross to back post. Immobile, who isn't his lively self this season, I've got to say. You don't see many goals where he's running past the back line and chips the keeper like he used to. He's definitely more of a tapping merchant. He's only aged 1 year, but you know, that's basically what he's became now. But I'm happy with it. If that means that goal is going to take us potentially into the semi-final. The semi-final of the Champions League. We could actually do it this year. Who knows? Either way, it's going to be a massive financial boost to the club, which will be great. Nuno Mendes again causing a problem in that left wing back position. While I'm seeing all these highlights, I don't know. Is this one of them Football Manager glitches where it stops showing just key highlights? It doesn't look like it. Edouard into the box, Stones heads away. Milinkovic-Savic gives it away to Eriksen. Zapata, bear in mind, an Inter Milan goal here means that Inter Milan will then go through. I don't know why we've just seen half of them highlights, but I am going to time waste a bit now with some substitutions if possible. So Nuno Mendes off for Anthony Robinson, a perfectly good backup. He can get a little round of applause, and so he should do. I mean, brilliant in this game. And we'll bring on Menino in midfield there. So let's go with that and see how that gets on. Probably the quickest video of a series we've had, unless Inter Milan go and score here, which they haven't. Looks like we've done it, but who cares if it's quick when we've just made a Champions League semi-final. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we got knocked out in the quarterfinals last year, so it's good to see that we've made one step more in the Champions League. Manchester City just getting past Juventus, so Juventus are out. Maybe we're the only Italian club left, I'm not sure. £9 million in the bank, that's very useful considering we've just upgraded the youth facilities, so the finances aren't looking great right now. Yeah, very happy with that. Who are we playing? I can't remember. It's Manchester United or Real Madrid. I assume they play on the Wednesday night. Let me just have a look at their schedule. Manchester United schedule, senior squad. They play on Wednesday the 13th of April. Yeah, you know what? We're going to simulate ahead to see who we're going to play. I'll keep you guys here a little bit longer so we can watch this match. Yeah, very happy with that. Very happy with the way things on the channel are going. Very excited for the improvements that we could potentially make. A new gate records receipt there. That's good to see. You're getting a bit of an insight into how I play Football Manager, by the way. Training, I don't manage. That's the assistant manager. Press conferences, someone else can deal with that. I don't care. And here we go with the other semi-finals of the competition. Bear in mind, it was Manchester City who knocked out Juventus. I think they're pretty much guaranteed to get a final. Whether Napoli or Dortmund make it through, whichever one of them, I think Manchester City will beat, so they'll probably be the final opponent. If it's not them, we could easily beat 4th place Napoli, who are pretty rubbish this season, and Borussia Dortmund, who I reckon we could handle. Real Madrid, 3rd in La Liga. Manchester United, 2nd in the Premier League. Just because it's Football Manager, I just want to avoid Man U. I know that won't be the case, so let's see what happened in their matches. Okay, no, even though they won, they're nowhere near going through. Man U have gone through, but it's nice to see they can be beaten. Yeremy Pino scoring there for Real Madrid. I believe he is a Villarreal player. Yes, he is. He's done brilliantly for them. Wow. He must have got a high PA in this save. He's done really well for them. And Borussia Dortmund cruising past Napoli. They've got a good side still. They haven't lost Haaland. They haven't lost Sancho yet in this save. Is he available? Potential Immobile replacement? Would he want to join? He'd consider it. We've got something there. We're definitely never going to get the money. But Jurgen Klopp has been down to visit Immobile pretty much every game this season. So it's interesting to see that there's no interest from Liverpool there. Bayern Munich in for Edouard. I wouldn't mind getting rid of him. Mendes is a no-toucher, but if Man U come in with a £120 million bid, something like that, considering we've only just signed him for 40, it's not bad business if it does happen. We've got Ahmed Hozic interested from some of the big clubs and Tottenham. We've got Aya wanted by Leipzig, although Aya seems to have a weird thing where, despite the fact that he's probably just as good as some other centre-backs, the most I've ever seen, like he always gets bids, always at 11.25 million, never more than his actual value, which is strange. I feel like with his form, sometimes he could be worth more. But there you go. When is that final? The semi-final, should I say? It's coming up fairly soon. By then, we'll probably be in with a chance of winning the league, so I could potentially show Milan and Man U, or Man U and Brescia, whatever means we could potentially win the league. And maybe I'll make it a triple biller, and we'll do the Italian Cup final. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, we can just keep this away leg against Man U down to a minimum, see what we can do there, and maybe set up another home win like we had here against Inter Milan. Good performance from the boys. We are through into the next round, and that'll be the end of today's episode. I'm trying to get them out a little bit quicker, so if you haven't already, maybe ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos, because, you know, I'm so weird with the way I upload these videos. I never know what's going to happen, but yeah, I just want to say massive thank you to anyone who's still here watching. The series is, as you would expect, towards the end of FN21, starting to do a little bit of that kind of thing in terms of views, which is fine. But yeah, thank you to anyone who's still here. Very excited for what we have in store in terms of channel improvements, and you'll look at this now, probably think it's not so bad, but I reckon the quality of the content will hopefully be 10 times better in a few months' time if all my plans go ahead. So thank you guys, you're all amazing. Thanks for all the support on the channel. I'll see you in the next video, so stay safe and goodbye.